her rival. They call her Christy Farley, not just a name, but a force, a current moving through silence, a spark light in the dark corners of forgotten voices. Spoken word artist, international author, visionary, creative leader. Do you feel it? Every title is not a crown she wears, but a seed she plants, the vision. See, Christy does not just speak, she creates echo. Her words ripple across oceans, bridging cities, bridging lives, bridging souls that thought they were alone. Her eyes, telescopes, seeing galaxies of possibility where others saw only night. Her hands, blueprints, sketching new ways to rise, new ways to lead, new ways to believe. The platforms, a chat show, a podcast, a lifeline broadcast into the world. On Facebook Live, she becomes both stage and sanctuary, turning screens into gathering fires where strangers become friends and friends become family. She is the voice that welcomes you. Welcome to Journey and Gems. And in that welcome you realize you are not just a listener, you are a gem too. You are part of the journey and the vision expands. Journey and Gems with Farley and poetess and spoken word artist. Member of Too Tempted and the Boss Up Blue Mamba. Not just programs, movements, not just podcasts, bridges for the world to cross. Leadership, Christy is not chasing applause. She's not chasing fame, she's chasing truth. And truth, my friends, is the rarest currency in this world. Her leadership, it does not dominate, it elevates. It does not silence, it amplifies. She lives stories the way sunlight lifts shadows. She builds bridges the way rivers carve valleys. She connects voices across continents, across languages, across borders. Because vision knows no border. The fire, listen. Christy is not just speaking, she is summoning. Every word a spark, every pause a drumbeat. She tells the world, create, connect, believe, and the world answers back. Because her call is not small, it is global. She's not just one leader, she is the echo of many. The rhythm of community, the sound of tomorrow rising in today's throat, the anthem. So let the chorus rise. Journey and Gems, a space for the broken to heal. Journey and Gems with Farley and poetess and spoken word artists, where laughter and wisdom meet at the same table. Raw, real, and shaken truth that dares to speak what others silence. From glass kiss to live streams, her spirit ascends. Christy the host, the visionary, the friend. Her connections circle the globe like constellations, threaded together by her light. CEO, creator, dreamer. Her presence, a song we never forget.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Journey and Gems with Farley and Friends. I have no idea why that cut off like, but we're going to keep it rolling on a positive note. First of all, happy Sunday. It is the first day of the week, and we definitely want to get into the colors of the day. Then I wanted to read some poetry. At first, I was going to do the story later, but I think that I'm going to do my story after I talk about the colors, because they do play a role in how we can see things so much clearer when it comes down to our health, our wealth, everything about us. That's why colors were created, not just because of the beauty of them, but the effects of them. So I have experienced these effects myself when wearing it or having it around. And I'm sure that some of you have seen certain colors and it makes you feel, evokes a certain emotion. It gives you a certain type of energy. You could feel it. And so today's colors are yellow and gold. So yellow color is associated with the third chakra, which is in your stomach. Okay, that gut instinct thing that we talk about all the time. This color is associated with wisdom as well as joy, happiness, intellectual, and creative energies. Yellow and gold create clarity and awareness. Yellow and green create deceit and disoriented emotions. Orange and yellow gives a sense of establishment, and light yellow clears your mind, allowing it to become more aware, alert, and active. So when you're when you're having the colors yellow and green, again, this is not something that may happen with you or anybody else, but these are the things that I learned, and this is for information only to give you some sense of it. So you would definitely want to do yellow and gold, orange and yellow, light yellow colors. And so this is like a fun fact. Yellow daffodils are a symbol of reunited love. And so I thought that was important to say. So if you want to have more clarity in decision making, memory, and concentration, this is why you will wear it, have it around. Relief from exhaustion, nervousness, panic, and anxiety, as well as being depleted. Protection from depression and lethargy during bad and depressing weather, which is vitally important. Excellent for writers and speakers, which I love because I started out writing on white paper, of course, but then we also had those legal pads where it was yellow. And I just started noticing a difference before I was even doing this. And I said, wow, that's why they use yellow for that, for legal pads, as well as those sticky notes, because it helps us with our concentration. And again, clearing out any exhaustion, nervousness, panic, and anxiety, as well as being depleted, and protection from depression and lethargy during bad and depressing weather. We also understand that because we know when the sun comes out, we feel a little bit better, particularly wintertime. A lot of people experience depression. I know I did for a long time uh, throughout the winters, and then it came back to me enjoying winters again. It's a process. It wasn't just looking at the colors, but it was delving into all of what I was feeling when wintertime came. I was able to address all of that. And again, for writers and speakers, I will have my yellow stones around, and I'll look at them and everything else. Sometimes I'll have it in my hand. And again, the purer the gemstone, the more power, the more energy that it holds. And you always want to make sure after you do it, you cleanse your stones accordingly, because some people can do it water. Some of the stones cannot take water, so you will put it out in the sunlight. So you have to be very careful with your stones as well, because what you're putting into it is that negative energy. You want to take things out that are negative, and it has to be rebalanced. That stone does. So those are the things that you will do, wear it or have it around to help with that. Now with gold, gold is a color that also is associated with our third chakra, our gut instinct, as well as our seventh chakra, our spiritual awareness. This color is associated with wealth, prosperity, wisdom, good health, success, and optimism. It is also one of the 5 Tibetan sacred stones. This color is linked to sun rays, God, and divinity. Wear this color or have it around when you want to increase your personal power, relax and enjoy life, good health and wisdom, success and prosperity. So when we always heard about gold, it was always, prosperity in the financial way. And not until I started really digging deep into the colors did I realize that good health was a part of that, because if you don't have good health, then everything else is not going to fall into line. Your finances, all that stuff is not going to, your optimism is like, you become pessimistic, of things and all that. So, and your success overall as a person does not come to us just by us just sitting around and not being able to create a way for us to have that successful path in our lives. So if you want to go ahead and relax and do a meditation, then you can lie down on the floor using yoga mats to protect your back. Put something up underneath your knees as well as your neck to give a good relaxation. If you cannot lay on your back, it's also okay to lay on your side. sit up and do it as well with your stones, or you wanting to be able to say certain words in which will help clear. Sound helps clear. And doing om is one of those things that helps to clear it as well, because sound helps clear our chakras. And so I'm going to get into that as I later on, as I'm putting together a music album that just simply music with all of the chakra instruments in there. So it will go all the way through and help you to cleanse that energy and replenish it. So now that I got through that, I would like to go ahead and talk about what happened yesterday. And then I'm going to get into some poetry so that way we can really just relax ourselves. And as we're getting our day started, some of you guys have already been started during the day, but maybe need a little bit of a boost, a little whoosh to come in and just relax, and just get reinvigorated, get revitalized, revamped, and into a relaxing state. So yesterday, I went to the store with Pops, and we came back and sat upstairs and listening to some good Jamaican music. And all of a sudden, where we're sitting at near my window, Pops could see one side of it, and I could see the other side of being outdoors. So I saw a lady going from across the street coming down. I'm thinking, okay, I don't know who she is, but I know who my neighbor is. And so since she looks very much like the family, I was just like, okay, that must be family. So I wasn't paying attention. Pops didn't see that part. He saw where she went over to his car and started banging on his window. And the woman was shouting, "Give me my effing kids back." You W, calling all kinds of names. Mind you, nobody's in the vehicle. So he's hearing her bang on it, and I'm like, oh my gosh, she's literally like punching it to just try to break in to his vehicle. So he was like, hey, he's like, get away from my car. And she's still cursing at him, calling again all kinds of, using the F bomb, the B bomb, and calling him yeah. So it was just all kinds of things going on. So as he was going down the steps, I'm in shock because I'm looking outside like, wait a minute, this person came from my neighbor's house. So I don't even have no clue of what is going on, but I grabbed my phone and I was just right behind Pops. So by the time he got outside, I was calling 911 because I was like, okay, do that because I have no idea what's going on. And this person is just going off. And I realized that once it cut off on me, I don't know what happened. And I was like, no, the first time like it hung up on me. And I'm like, no. And I'm calling him back while she's screaming at Pops. Now he's backing up from her, but he's noticed that she also bent up his tag. So his tag is bent up. And so he's like, why are you, he said, I don't know what you're talking about, but please just get away from my vehicle. Just move along. But she kept on accusing him of taking her kids and having them, like stealing her kids away from her. And I'm thinking to myself, oh my gosh, there's something wrong with her. So while I'm on the phone and I'm explaining, to the officer, she's still cursing and everything else. And she calls me a B and all that kind of stuff like that. And I'm just like in shock because, but then she moved a little closer to Pops. And I was like, okay, that's one of them split second decisions of what do you do? Because I knew that she as a woman was coming close to Pops. And being a man, I don't want, he doesn't want no trouble. I don't want no trouble. But I figured that, okay, I'm going to have to step in now and not just stand on the porch talking to the police who are trying to get down the information the best they could and all that. But I'm just seeing the thing escalating and I'm like, okay, it's a person across the street. I don't know who it is, but they went to my neighbor's house. and I'm describing her and everything else, and so after that, and after being called a few more B's, the woman sat up there and started walking away, and which I was glad, because I thought that she was really going to attack Pops and do more damage to his vehicle, because she was just punching away at it. So when she went across the street back to the house, I was just, like I said, me and him were in shock, and I was like, none of my neighbors were home that would know possibly who this person is and what is going on here, because there is damage to the vehicle. Thank goodness that it was just a tag, but it could have gotten and excelled into such a heightened state that, like I said, even me having to get involved or him being injured, would have been just totally maddening. So I was shell shocked. I'm not even going to lie, because when you have that fight or flight risk of, okay, well, where can only just run back, but I'm sure she would have been able to tag him if she had came across him, because she was that close to him. And two, we knew that she wasn't in the right state of mind, because she kept accusing him of taking her children. And I'm like, who is this person? What is going on here? So nonetheless, about 5 minutes later, my neighbor comes, and she gets a hold of the neighbor across the street. Unfortunately, they didn't answer the phone. So she was telling me this person, is displaying mental illness during the week. And so it was like about a 2-hour ordeal, because by the time the police came, which was one officer, Pops explained the situation and everything else. He looked at the vehicle. Then he sat up there. Then my neighbor came out, and she had video footage. So it was a blessing, because it's like, okay, if you don't, sometimes certain stories are unbelievable, but her jaw dropped when she first saw it, and was like, oh my gosh, like what? And you're able to hear things. So needless to say, because mine was out of commission due to some changes. So I was glad that somebody else could just see what happened, because it's just one of the things that you just don't believe. But also, it did what? It helped to get her help, because what we were doing was not trying to press any charges or anything like that. It was that, oh my gosh, this woman is not in the right mind. And she was I said 45 to 50 years old. And sure enough, that she was 45 years old. And so, like I said, two neighbors had witnessed this woman doing some dangerous things to her, like, just walking in her nightgown, no undergarments, no shoes, at nighttime, during the day, sitting outside in the cold, like that, with no coat, no shoes, no nothing. Like, they were just really helpful and instrumental in coming out to talk to the police as well, because everybody was really concerned. And so split-second decisions like that, of just making sure to maintain and pull back and be calm as much as possible and not react. Because of course, when you see something like that, particularly if I didn't see her coming from out of that house, it would have been a whole different story. And so it was one of those things that, you're like, okay, what do I do? Because you're not wanting to see anybody get hurt. But also, somebody is coming at you with a story, and that something's not right. Like I kept saying it, like, something is wrong, because you can't look at somebody. I mean, it would have been one thing if she was thinking, a person that was walking down the street and just lost their mind and thought, okay, this vehicle, this person took my kids, it looks like the same vehicle, and they just went ham. But it wasn't even that, which is no excuse to do anyway. But I'm just saying, like, literally, this woman had absolutely no idea of what she was doing at all. And so I'm grateful to the Baltimore City Police Department for taking it serious and making sure that she got help, and they called for backup and everything else. And they stayed for a long while over there to make sure that she could get some type of help. And then her grandfather came home, and they took it, and made sure that she had help. So that was the whole premise of what I want to get across to people because things are happening that's crazy. I mean, absolutely. Like I said, I couldn't get on the podcast last night. I was only able to talk to one other person once the whole ordeal settled down and the police took over. But I couldn't do anything. I was just totally stunned. And I'm like, wow, we have to be on point, our head on a swivel at all times, because you have no idea who's got a mental illness, who is a person that is just being pure evil and mean and nasty. Like, we don't know what is going through other people's minds, but our decisions changes the course of our day. Yesterday could have gone real bad, really, really bad, real fast. So I'm just saying to everybody else to maintain a level of balance in your mind. Make sure you have your mind on right and on tight, because when things happen, you have to just be ready to boom, go right into action. And it was something because as I could hear myself on the 911 call, my voice just got elevated because the moment that she walked around from the side of his driver's side of his vehicle to him, and he was stepping back and he could see, that something was happening too, but all he wanted to do is make sure that he could just not get no more damage to the vehicle. So I'm glad for both of us acting in that way. I'm very grateful that my neighbors got involved and we weren't looking to seek any damage. And that's why I love where I live, because we are a unified force. And no matter what's going on between anybody, one thing we will do is ensure each other's safety and our space, our haven, whether it be our home, vehicles, all that are off limits, to people, period. And so it was just something that I wanted to get across to everybody else because, like I said, I know that it could have been somebody would have just came out and could have been gunfire. It could have been, any type of violence that was going on. And I thought about it afterwards. And like I said, again, thank you to the Baltimore City Police Department for doing their job and making sure that everything was safe and secure. And they did not leave until everything was done, where she was safe and out of harm's way, because she was not supposed to be left alone. And when you leave somebody alone who is not supposed to be left alone, 24-hour care means just that. And when people don't know about certain situations or what to do, because her mother just passed away 2 months ago. So, and I knew her mother well. I had no idea she had a daughter, much less a daughter with special needs, because I had a daughter with special needs and I was making it known. And I was talking about the things that I was going through and experiencing, not realizing that this woman's mother was sheltering her from the world. And she's not the first person that I met that would not even talk about their child that had a disability, and you were not to talk about it around family or anybody. So people who are entrenched in either religion that says that a child that has disabilities is a curse, to those people who feel shame because they have a special needs person in their family. Either way, it's just really scary and it's really heartbreaking because, again, people do not know what is going on. And because I didn't know it, and apparently a couple other people did not know that her daughter was there by herself and was supposed to be having 24-hour care. So I'm just saying to everybody, please be careful, be cautious out there. I guess to keep your head on a swivel. Do not be paranoid, but be war ready, as I call it. Ready to go ahead and get into something and knowingly being able to diffuse a situation the best way you can and not escalate it. That's why I did not come out with anything but my phone. You know what I mean? I didn't even have my shoes on myself. I'm looking crazy, as well, because I'm like, okay, wait a minute. There was no time for that. So I'm grateful for the outcome, and I just wanted to share with everybody else, because when you have people that are sheltering family members that have mental illness, and instead of getting them the proper help, uh, that's now going to have to change. And people don't know how to get somebody with special needs like that help, and or don't believe that they should, because again, religion, shame, or both of them. And we have to break that, because this beautiful soul could have gotten herself killed by hurting herself or others. And so that's my story for today. I'm still shell shocked, but I'm like, okay, I was just coming on to share with you, because I want everybody to be in the right state of mind and start making sure that we are doing the proper things, so that way when things like that come up, we are not endangering ourselves any more than what already happened. And we're definitely doing the right thing to change the outcome, because yesterday could have been a deadly outcome. So that's my story. So thank you guys for listening. I appreciate it. And so now I'm going to start reading some poetry. It's poetry time, everybody. And this is something that I wrote way back, and I copywrote those back in 2002, 2003. So I thought it was befitting today to just go ahead and just read some things from here. I really have not thought about what I was going to read, but I said, let me just go in and choose from like 90 poems. So this one is called Golden Years. We have lost respect and forgotten one aspect of our senior citizens' needs. We must take heed. The sacrifices for us without making a fuss, so we could have a better life, not living in strife. But we failed to protect and begun to neglect, not giving them their respected dues. One day we'll walk in their shoes, cherishing their golden years instead of living in fear. Their life should be treasured, their value surely measured by their wisdom and knowledge. It doesn't take a scholar from college to obtain what they have gained. In their lives, God has reigned and need us to care. Why is our time hard to share? We need our priorities rearranged and our schedules changed, so we can do what is right, making our golden years bright. What I don't understand is, why aren't we lending a hand? They aren't a burden to me. If anything, they make us see how blessed we are. They are here and regard their life as dear, because they hold our history, revealing any mystery. Each gray hair tells a tale, how they strive so we wouldn't fail. Now people leave them in nursing homes, letting their minds wander and roam, to think they no longer matter. Then lowlifes abuse and batter, making me sick, so I'll take a chance to do my part to enhance and ensure they enjoy their retirement. I thank God they were sent. Please, people, wake up and do your part. Give from your wallet and heart, so we can give to whom gave without reason. Remember, you will be there in due season. I wrote that about senior citizens back then, and not to say that people aren't supposed to be in nursing homes or anything, but it's the fact of just leaving them there. So we got to take care of our senior citizens, everybody. We are one country that does not value our senior citizens as other countries do, and we can learn from other countries. It's no, it's never too late to learn. Just because one country's on top or one country's in leadership does not mean other countries should be belittled or devalued, and we must give the respect due to our seniors. So we have to make that change. I've already made that pledge, and I hope you do too. This one I found to be really cathartic for me, because I felt myself being victimized by so many different things. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to write this, and it's called Goodbye Victim. I'm still in fear of being alone, though I have kids of my own. I'm embarrassed and ashamed being victimized in this game. Starting over again is my theme, can't break the cycle, although it seems. I'm more enlightened to change, my entire life being rearranged. No longer accepting anyone at my door, recognizing the player and saying no more. Striving for a better tomorrow, ridding myself of grief and sorrow. Allowing the healing to begin, staying away from deception of sin. Goodbye, victim, I am no longer. Perseverance through truth, I am stronger. Now I feel complete and whole, since God filled the holes in my soul. Beauty was going through a lot then, and so was my son. And it was just like the school systems, everything, just everything, the hospitals, everything was just so much going on. And then people just treating me wrong, knowing that I was in this situation, and they took advantage of that. And so we have to be careful of who we let in our lives, right, you guys? Because there are people that do have ill intent, and we don't want that. I was thinking about my friend Henry Huell and other people who I have sent this next poem to, thinking about them as they go through the loss of people in their lives. So this one is entitled, I Am Your Angel. If the angels come for me tonight, know I put up a good fight, always trying to do what's right. If the angels are on the way, know I loved you each day, may you seek and I pray. If the angels want me home, know you'll never be alone, walk in the path you've been shown. If the angels seek my face, know I've won the race, and he puts all things into place. If you see me flying in the sky, shed tears of joy when you cry, wave, but don't say goodbye. Now I know that, and I will not profess that Henry is a person that is Christian or in belief of God. What I was saying, that when it comes down to the people that we love, they are our angels, and they will always be our guardian angels. They will always be with us. They are our ancestors. And so I just I wrote that with all the things that have happened in my life. And so I said that, just listening and talking to people and hearing what is going on, I want them to know that their loved one is an angel, regardless of their religious beliefs. They are surely your angel and your ancestor. This one I wrote was My Tree, and I wrote it within mind of my children's great grandmother. And when she left this world, she was the tree of life to me, because I did not have a grandmother who cared about me at all. In fact, after my father died, disowned me. So it was so beautiful to have her in my life. And I realized that my tree was something that just came about, that I was like, oh my gosh. And they actually read it at her funeral, which I was overjoyed about because of my contribution to give to her. So let me go ahead and read it to you. And also you will find it in Beauty's Grace Group Book of Journal. Let me say it again. Beauty's Grace Group Book of Poetry and Journal, that is on Amazon right now. Or you can get a copy from me and I will autograph it for you. I see the tree as I journey, sometimes on my way, sometimes in my heart. I admire the tree, for her foundation is strong, planted firmly in nature, nurtured by God. I touch the tree, running my fingers against her history, telling me a story I yearn to hear. I feel her leaves so thick yet strong, bearing a fruit a part of me. I sit under the tree, providing me comfort and protection when I am scared. I search for the tree to find my way home when I'm alone and everything is unfamiliar. I feel the tree blowing gentle breaths against my skin, calming my spirit. I need the tree for her support. There's no replica of her beauty. I love the tree for her presentation of life branching out today and generations to come. So I'm sure somebody else can say, oh, you know what? I can get with that because somebody in their life is their tree. That was just gave them the foundation, that gave them the strength, that gave them the courage, that gave them the love and everything else. And I can contribute that to a lot of people that was in my life as well. So that was something that I wanted to go ahead and share with you guys as well. And I'm just trying to figure out. You will hear God throughout here. You will even hear about Jesus. And so I understand if you do not agree or anything, but that is your choice. These are my poetry stories that I tell. And so today, befitting on a Sunday, the first day of the week, I wanted to just go ahead and share some things that I have not shared in a while, or that is also in my Beauty's Grace Group book of poetry and journal, which is on Amazon. And again, I have autographed copies here. This one is entitled Thank You. And I want to thank people out there, whether they've been in my life for a long time or a very short period of time. I want to thank people for what they have done for me. So this one was entitled Thank You. Thank you for all you've shared and opening your arms to show you cared. Thank you for the unconditional love, being a blessing, unblemished like a dove. Thank you for lending a hand when knowing I was too weak to stand. Thank you for your humor and tears, helping me to face all my fears. Thank you for believing in me when I was low, your faith held the key. Thank you, my true friend. I cherish every day. Our love shall never end. So that is my thank you to everybody who has been by my side, helping me through and getting me through a lot of difficult situations and circumstances that ended up me being here today and being able to withstand and go through. This one was my letter to God because I truly was struggling, but I found a way through my writing, and I've always had this gift. Glory be to the Most High for giving me this gift, to be able to write and put out things that, even being over 20 years old, still relevant today. So this is called Dear God. Dear God, I have been left to die, not supposed to ask you why. My children want no part because I gave them a rough start. My man stormed out the door, couldn't stand the struggle anymore. My family grew tired of my call, couldn't watch me rise and fall. I yearn for those who are gone, weary of their absence from dusk till dawn. The pills lie beside my bed. Insane thoughts run through my head. Doomed from birth, claims the evil one. Give up now, your life is done. I'm trying to hold on tight. Slowly I'm losing the fight. I scream to God, can my voice you hear? Silence struck, my last hour was near. Just as I sipped my last breath, God appeared and scooped me from death. I asked him, why my years of strife, knowing I'd be a good mother and wife? Why my talent sits in waste? My life meaningless, almost erased. Almost erased. God told me to listen to his story of how he'll use me for his glory. You were an outcast to your kind, the ideal person I had in mind. In your vulnerability, continue to trust. Be not deceived by lust. Let my love comfort you while alone. Take time to see how much you've grown. Don't sway in doubt about my word. Though in people's hearts you're obscured, I shall prepare you a place with kings. Enemies shall fall before your being. You cried, dear God, and I was listening, but you didn't accept what you were missing. I am who I am, and that's all you need. Remember, I planted and nurtured your seed. Now here you are in full bloom. How could you think I'd let you fall to doom? Now rest yourself and enjoy today, for I've already paved the way. Dear God, I cried. I proclaim my conviction. I live to serve you. That's my benediction. That's what I wrote in 2002. As my cries of not understanding why people were doing what they were doing, like this is a little bit more of a lighter one, but more direct, because the first like 100 poems that I wrote, I did a lot of metaphors and wasn't able to really speak about it. And people thought it was very dark, but very powerful. So I wanted something to do more light. And I just asked the Most High, I was like, please give me the insight. And so back then, this is what it was going on. And this is still how I do feel. I've just been able to expand my spirituality. And so this is called changes, because this was the changes that I made, and I like to read it to you. I changed from being a child to an orphan. Now I'm a survivor. I changed from being a little girl to a woman. Now I am wise. I changed from being dependent to fighting my own battles. Now I have courage. I changed from being a virgin to a mother. Now I have 3 reasons to live. I changed from being crushed under heels to walking tall. Now I have confidence. I changed from being silent to hearing my voice. Now I make a difference. I changed from being in the darkness to seeing the light. Now I am free. I changed from being envious to creating my own happiness. Now I feel no guilt. I never changed my faith in God. Now I watch my blessings flow. So I hope that these poems are reaching and touching somebody's heart. Like I said, even if you are not a person that is a believer in God, I still believe that you can get across the message of what I'm saying and it can resonate with you. So please do not leave or dismiss what I'm saying. I hope that you can enjoy what I'm saying. This one is called Damage Control. And this one is deep. He silently sits and waits for an opportunity to say something snide to disgrace and humiliate me with a glimmer of innocence to his ignorance, unaware of his surroundings. He leaps to say something sapient, yet has a hint of nonsense, recognized by many, including me. His words began to blend into a chant that beats down on my spirit like a drum. Tears shatter our union. I turn to seek bewildered eyes. My children stare in wonder. Why his brutal attempt to destroy and erase all that their mother has done or trying to do? Daddy, they screamed aloud, filled with shame, but this is all they know, yet I cannot allow for this to continue. No, it's not okay, for I want my son to grow strong in God's image, carrying his grandfather's names. As blood shed on the cross anoints our foreheads, we are cleansed and made free. My daughters dance when daddy comes through the door. They wait for his name. They wait for this man to lead them. Unfortunately, he heads for doom. Walking amongst the living dead, I watch his breath become silent, and I am left to undo the damage. So, this is a time when my first 2 children's father was abusing me and was very abusive in my life. I got away from him, but Wow. Yeah. So I'm very grateful to Pops, who is my youngest daughter's father, because once he came into my children's lives, my first two children, that gave them more of a comfort. But I have to say that a lot of children still yearn, and I hear it all the time when people say, I don't know why the children long for the parent that left them or whatever. And that's because they're a part of them and they want to know why that person left. They want to know what made them leave, what was going on, what similarities did they have. They're looking for the love. So if your child is not in any danger with that parent or whatever, then it is good for them to be able to get to know what's going on for themselves. Because, as we always say, the grass is not greener on the other side. And so sometimes that we all have to find that out. And so I just hope for those who went through that in my shoes can take something away from saying, yeah, I know what it means to do damage control. This one is called forgiveness because I really feel like this one um, we have to do. And so again, I'm just going to head right on in and I'm going to try to slow it down because I'm trying to just really go through the flow of it. And yet I'm still off kilter a bit. So bear with me. I know you've been hurt by someone very dear, but they apologized and it was sincere. So it was easy to move on because the pain was all gone. But what about the times the person didn't dare say sorry due to their ego, acting like they don't care? Or those who offend you by what they said or did, and you feel embarrassed, so your feelings you hid. You ask how to forgive and actually forget because pain turns to anger, evil thoughts you regret. How can you have healing into your wound where peace is prevalent, joy keeps the heart tuned? Well, don't pretend like your feelings aren't real. Tell God what's happening so his power can heal. But you must do more so bitterness won't come back. Satan has a tendency to try to counterattack. Bring to him the situation that hurt your pride and stay in the daily word so your spirit can flow inside. Don't take an account and keep a mental note. Another incident occurs, you bring up the past and gloat instead of shake off the offense so you can be blessed. Don't hinder your life not being able to rest. So once again, that's all about forgiveness, forgiving somebody else, even if they don't care, even if they have no intentions, because it's easier sometimes to forgive somebody who does say that they are so sorry about it and you can move on. But this was something about for those who, it's hard to move on with things. And we're not going to forget, it's supposed to be a lesson for us, but we want to go ahead and be able to relinquish the pain, relinquish the thoughts, because every person in our life is not going to do the same. Even if they do something wrong to us, they're not the same person as the last person that hurt you. And if they are, then you have the wisdom and the knowledge to know and see these things and remove yourself away from the situation. And forgiving yourself is a huge thing that I want to add on too. Because when you forgive yourself for being in a position that meant you harm, it's also a cleansing balance and way of doing that as well. Again, if you are not a person that is of religion, does not mean that you still can find that forgiveness too. So this is something that I wrote personally back in 2002. I'm telling you that it applies to everybody. So this is not just a religious thing for you. This is also a lesson, a life lesson that we all must do. And that is to forgive. I think I'm going to close it out. I'm trying to think of something. Well, no, I'm going to do two of them, two more, because I want to kind of leave it on a higher note. And this one is called Give Me Mine. And I was all about taking back what was lost from me, what was stolen from me that I felt. Give me what I lost to rebuild the past. Give me the serenity that comes with breath. Give me the peace that stills the night. Give me the glow that shines from the moon. Give me the roots branched by nature. Give me a spirit left on the cross. Give me the future to sustain the present. Give me the beauty gifted by life. Give me the wisdom accepted by knowledge. Give me the path that leads to success. Give me the love born at birth. Give me what is mine, the respect I so deserve. Okay? Because I was like, look, wait a minute now. I'm tired of all this. This is all craziness. This is all just ridiculousness. That's being everything being taken away from me and so early. And I was lost because, after I lost my dad and my mom, I was so strong, kept going, wasn't supposed to speak about it. So everything had to be inside, but it made me like, thinking I could be stronger. So therefore, that's something that I wanted to just share with you guys. And I just want to go out with something. Let me try to figure out something that is just relaxing and can just get us into the right direction today. And this is called Just for Me, which again you will also find in Beauty's Grace Group Book of Poetry and Journal. The sun pushes through. The sky has put on its favorite shade of blue, awaiting my presence. The wind knocks at my bedroom window, tempting me to come outdoors. I wear nothing but a big grin. No one to disturb my thoughts, no scene of disruption. I start out slow to soak the memory. It is a day dedicated just for me. The spirit greets me, joyfully grabbing my hand and lifting me out of my natural realm. I am turned loose to fly, my skin embracing the feel, as my destination isn't clear, but all negative feelings drift away. I became free like the wind. I can go the distance. Nothing stands in my way, for he is watching over me. So I hope today that you have a very safe and blessed day. Okay? And afternoon, evening, and night. And so, I want to do one more. I do, because I found it. It was called The Beauty Stemmed Within. The beauty of this fills the air with a romantic fragrance that puts a woman in the mood. A beauty of this sends a signal you are the special one in my life. The beauty of this secrets an enticing smile across the lips of sensuality. The beauty of this flows deep within the soul, showing an intimate glow for the world to see. The beauty of this delivers its essence and seals the day with love. And that is for all you out there who are finding love, finding the beauty of love within your partner. And so I wanted to read that real quick because I was like, yeah, this is not just about you as well as it's for others that is in your life. And so let love flow, let love reign, let love be your guiding light with the colors that, again, are yellow and gold, the joy, success, the good health, optimism, prosperity, all of that you need, sun rays, the most high, divinity, all of that is wrapped up into the day. So wear it or have it around so that way you can get up out of the things in which may be ensnaring you. And again, trust your gut instinct. Understand that you're a spiritual being as well as a human being. Take these tools that you have learned Like I'm taking the tools that I have learned, take this information for what it is. It's information about the colors and run with it. So I'm going to play something real quick and then we're going to close out because I wanted to come on early. I will probably come on again later on, but I thought that this would be a good way to be able to just reach out to everybody, give you some inspiration, godly inspiration, spiritual inspiration, universal inspiration, human inspiration, nature inspiration. So I'm going to play Gem Shine since this is Gem Shine Sunday featuring Mad Mystic Mike.
Get ready for Miss Farley and Mad Mystic Mike reading Gem Shine. I look up at the moon and sun, amazed they keep their shine, even through darkness, sometimes intertwined. I sit in the shine of the moon and sun, allowing my discretions to be on display, staying strong to face them on my worst days. I deal with it through guidance of the One. I lay in the shine of the moon and sun, assisting me to be groomed, to be a better woman in all facets, turning bad into good habits. I bask in the shine of the moon and the sun, vulnerable as my body, soul, and spirit, so they can connect to the divine, releasing positive energies. I realign to embrace my own shine.
You gotta face all challenges and overcome all in your way. You gotta face dark nights of the soul until you see the light of day. You gotta face doubts you keep, but forever they will stay. You gotta be bold in thought and break away from fear. You gotta be brave in deeds and always persevere. You gotta be brazen in belief and spiritually sincere. You gotta embrace your truth and to yourself be kind. You gotta embrace your passion and know it is divine. And you gotta embrace your greatness, and forever you will shine. Boom, boom.
I'm so grateful for Mad Mystic Mike for doing that. This is on my Soulful Poetry album that I encourage you to go to iTunes and buy. It's also on Spotify and all other music platforms. I'm going to do two more because I was looking at it and I like the word, the two that kind of ties in still to what I'm feeling right now. And one of them is Focus featuring Dope Soul. The second one, well, actually it'll be my third one that I'll play and then I'm going to end it, I promise, with In Love, Self-Love by Velos Dog. So we're going to go with Focus featuring Dope Soul.
Coming up next is Miss Farley and Dope Soul reading Focus. Yesterday, they say, don't talk about your past. Yet it's connected to my future presence. Effervescence, quintessential is my essence. Yesterday I learned from mistakes, heartaches, breaking traits from my lineage, unloading baggage on my pilgrimage. Yesterday I saw tomorrow, time once I borrowed. No more sorrow as I yarrow and focus on the one who woke us. This is my bonus of living from yesterday.
My focus is not your focus. My focus was not God's focus, but I needed God to have focus. The only focus is Christ. That's the only way to God in this life. I'm not perfect. I spend my free time soul searching. Each man got his own purpose. Aim small, miss small. That doesn't refer to a gun, it refers to everything. Creativity is focus. It's not what you do, it's how you go about it. They won't feel you until you shout it, until you live it. You're not true. What I am to me is what you are to you. Let the art speak, let the art shine through. I'm not topple, I just walk like this. I'm not cocky, I just talk like this. Dead weight no longer exists. What my dad say, walking is never crowded. You can keep moving in life. You only stop when you want to stop. Stay focused.
Yay! Now we're going into In Love, Self-Love featuring Velo's Dog.
Yes, everyone is on fire tonight. Back to the stage with Miss Farley is Velo's Dog reading In Love, Self-Love.
I love you, I love you. I love me. What good is love when the love you give doesn't even mean a thing? I love you, I love you. I love me. Self-love is the hardest when you start reflecting on things. I love you, I love you. I love me. I lost self-love trying to love you. I also lost love for you trying to love me. I love you, I love you. I love me. I won't lose love this time. 'Cause now I love me. I love you, I love you. I love me. Thank you.
I can be in love and have self-love at the same time. It's just not our bodies that are intertwined, but redefined. As souls burn attraction, sweaty friction is the reaction to finding each other in between the sheets undercover. Poured into the world, our rebirth as individuals fusing as one. I embrace self-love and being in love at the same time. Yes, I am queen and boss lady. Not my intention to be shady, but I can't let your opinions faze me, because I am unapologetically Christy L. Farley. One love.
See, you can love yourself and love others. And that's what we should be doing. But I want to, okay, I know I told you I was going to end it, right? But I have to sit up there and I have to play this one because I want to leave out with a very good mental, emotional, physical, spiritual, just lightness. And this is called It Feels Good.
Sun shines bright as it moves across my face. I feel the light and everything is in its place. Oh, I woke up feeling great. Today was made for me. And life is good the way it should, the way it was meant to be. And it's a beautiful.
It feels good to open up my eyes to a brand new day. Life holds magical surprises. It feels good to have a mantra. embracing my transformation. It feels good to get up and dance with kindred spirits. It's a beautiful trance.
It's a beautiful, it's a beautiful, it's a beautiful day.
It feels good.
It's a beautiful, it's a beautiful.
It feels good.
It's a beautiful, it's a beautiful, it's a beautiful day.
It feels good when the divine one shows up, lighting up my life. So many blessings fill my cup. It feels good being a part of something greater than myself. A lifestyle through pro-love movement that brings divine health and wealth. Yeah, I'm feeling mighty good, 'cause you counted this Farley out. I'm made of water, air, fire, and wood. Now I've got the power, without a doubt.
It's a beautiful, it's a beautiful day.
It feels good.
It's a beautiful, it's a beautiful.
It feels good.
It's a beautiful, it's a beautiful day.
I want y'all to feel real good out there today. Be blessed, be enlightened, be about love, truth, be honest with yourself and others. Be all about leading others to a positive place while you follow your own words. God bless. Shalom. Assalamu alaikum. One love and light. Namaste to everybody.
Lights low, hush, and the voice rises, steady resonant. Arrival. They call her Christy Farley, not just a name, but a force, a current moving through silence, a spark light in the dark corners of forgotten voices. Spoken word artist, international author, visionary, creative leader. Do you feel it? Every title is not a crown she wears, but a seed she plants, the vision. See, Christy does not just speak, she creates echo. Her words ripple across oceans, bridging cities, bridging lives, bridging souls that thought they were alone. Her eyes, telescopes, seeing galaxies of possibility where others saw only night. Her hands, blueprints, sketching new ways to rise, new ways to lead, new ways to believe. The platforms, a chat show, a podcast, a lifeline broadcast into the world. On Facebook Live, she becomes both stage and sanctuary, turning screens into gathering fires where strangers become friends and friends become family. She is the voice that welcomes you. Welcome to Journey and Gems. And in that welcome you realize you are not just a listener, you are a gem too. You are part of the journey and the vision expands. Journey and Gems with Farley and poetess and spoken word artist. Member of Two Tempted and the Boss Up Blue Mamba. Not just programs, movements, not just podcasts, bridges for the world to cross. Leadership, Christy is not chasing applause. She's not chasing fame, she's chasing truth. And truth, my friends, is the rarest currency in this world. Her leadership, it does not dominate, it elevates. It does not silence, it amplifies. She lives stories the way sunlight lifts shadows. She builds bridges the way rivers carve valleys. She connects voices across continents, across languages, across borders. Because vision knows no border. The fire, listen. Christy is not just speaking, she is summoning. Every word a spark, every pause a drumbeat. She tells the world, create, connect, believe, and the world answers back. Because her call is not small, it is global. She's not just one leader, she is the echo of many. The rhythm of community, the sound of tomorrow rising in today's throat, the anthem. So let the chorus rise. Journey and Gems, a space for the broken to heal. Journey and Gems with Farley and Podest and spoken word artists, where laughter and wisdom meet at the same table. Raw, real, and shaking truth that dares to speak what others silence. From God's kiss to live streams, her spirit ascends. Christy the host, the visionary, the friend. Her connections circle the globe like constellations, threaded together by her light. CEO, creator, dreamer. Her presence, a song we never forget. The legacy. Mark this moment, cause voices like hers do not fade. They multiply, they ignite new voices, they inspire new leaders. She is the question and the reply. She is thunder and soft sky. She is wisdom written, spoken, lived. And when Christy Farley speaks, the world listens. Not because they are told to, but because they want to. Because the words are wings, the closing. So stand with me as the anthem flows. Raise your eyes to the vision she casts. Raise your hearts to the fire that lasts. Christy Farley, a gem, a journey, a guide through the storm. Spoken word artist, international author, visionary, creative leader. Remember her name, carry her flame, because this is not just her story. This is ours.